Hello, I'm Pahoua Yang Hoffman, Senior Vice President of Community Impact at the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation. And I'm excited to be sitting down with Tim Ober, outgoing chair of the Mardag Foundation, and also Sam Eberhart, the incoming chair of the Mardag Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation, its mission, its vision, and what it endeavors to do?
Sure. The Mardag Foundation was created out of the estate of my grandmother, Agnes Ober. Over the years, we've had a wide variety of interests in terms of where our grant dollars have gone, but it's been working with at-risk families, helping in particular children, and then working with seniors, and then also a very strong commitment to serving the arts community.
Let's talk about 2019. When you think back to last year, what were some highlights?
So one of the best parts about the board work is when you have the opportunity to go out and do a site visit and visit some of the places that we are supporting through our grant making. Two come to mind immediately when we had our board retreat at Model Cities in St. Paul. It really gives you that sort of concrete feeling of, yes, we are indeed making a difference and making an impact. Another example was going to Cookie Cart over in the Phelan area. That was another organization where we had the opportunity to have a young man come and talk to us about the leadership program there, but also then that chance for him to talk about his own personal life and how this impacts what he does, to really get that feeling of, wow, we really are making a difference in at least one person's life. And when you see that happening and try to multiply that across all the grants that we're doing, and to realize there's a definite impact there. There is a definite strengthening of our community that goes with that.
Sam, is there anything that you would add to that?
One organization I've really, truly enjoyed giving to is Urban Boat Builders, in part because I've seen the fruits of their labor firsthand. Many of these students have never held a job before, worked with tools before, or even ridden in a canoe, let alone built a canoe. And this is an organization that changes young people's lives through adding all those experiences to their repertoire. And what's more, our whole community benefits from those skills and assets being shared. So that's one that I love being able to support.
And what's the other one that you want to lift up?
Yeah, the other one's Vine Faith in Action in Mankato. This is an adult community center that is supported by its community through volunteerism and engagement. In a town that's seen tremendous growth in its population and diversity, Vine stands out as a leader in bringing people together around personal and community health. So we need organizations like Vine now more than ever.
So Tim and Sam, thank you for going back to 2019 and giving us some highlights. But let's talk about 2020. Tim, why was it important for Mardag to be involved with the Minnesota Disaster Recovery Fund and also the Twin Cities Rebuild for the Future Fund?
I look at this as a way for not only our foundations to come together to pool support, to bring people together as a community to look to solve some of these problems. Part of the recovery fund was to also look at, I think, the issues with the pandemic, and to realize that there were a number of businesses that, if we didn't support them, could go away, and those services that are so critical to our society would also go away with them. And so to give them the support to help weather this and get through this as best as possible, that support is critical at this time.
One thing that I know Mardag, I think, done a particularly good job is bringing new voices onto the board. And this is a family foundation, but for a long time now, you've invited community members to also sit on the board to serve alongside you and other family members. Why is that important?
You know, I don't think it's just important. I think it's one of the greatest strengths of the Mardag board. I think some of our greatest expertise and ability to talk about the needs in our community and the ability to serve those greatest needs comes from those community members who are out there doing the work and have that experience. And, you know, it's a place of humility that I want to learn from them. I want to know from them. I want to hear about their experience and let that kind of be our guide. Let that be one of our North Stars on the compass of Mardag.
Tim, I know you will continue to serve on the board next year, but you will be leaving us as board chair. What have been some highlights for you?
I am very, very thankful and grateful for the years that I've had to serve on the Mardag Foundation. It has been a very rewarding experience to me. It's been just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I'm very, very thankful. I think we have done a wonderful job of supporting our community and helping our community, and I look forward to the many years ahead that the Mardag Foundation will continue to do that. One of the things that I am most proud of is we have never given up on what I call the small grant, particularly in greater Minnesota, where we've always had a focus and interest, that we have been able to assist those organizations that just need a little extra funding to complete a project or to support the work that they're doing. And that's something that I think is one of the greatest legacies that we have as a foundation.
So Tim, this is your last year as board chair, and another family member, Sam Eberhart, that represents the fourth generation, is stepping in as chair. Sam, we're going to put you on the spot, but Tim, why do you think Sam is going to be an excellent new board chair for Mardag Foundation?
First and foremost, it is his interest and his energy and enthusiasm for the work. I've seen that already in the few years that he's been on the board. He shares his mother's passion and his grandmother's passion for the work and his great-grandmother's passion for the work. And I think that's going to be one of the primary reasons that he will have great success in terms of his presidency and what he's doing.
Any advice for Sam?
There are so many good organizations out there, and there's so much good work being done, and we simply don't have the dollars to give to everyone that we would like to give monies to. And for that, again, be open, be listening to what the community is telling you, and trust your instincts.
Tim, you've provided such exceptional leadership as the board chair throughout your tenure. In the last 8 years I've served, I've been so fortunate to learn from you about the board, about the communities we serve, and I just can't thank you enough for your stewardship, your guidance, and can only hope that I can follow in your footsteps. And I believe that our community has been so well served by having you as the Mardag board chair.
So Sam, coming out of 2020 with such unprecedented change, what gives you hope for the community moving forward?
I've seen how profound the impact of loss of connection has been to youth and older adults personally. Without connection, we cannot flourish and aspire to the lofty ideals of a free and equal society. The recent crises we've been subject to have laid bare some of our most pressing needs as a society. It's my hope for the board that we continue to push ourselves to reflect, learn, respond, and build in ways that are meaningful and for the greater good.
So Tim, thank you for your leadership as board chair. We are glad that you'll still be on the board next year. Sam, really excited to get to work with you as the incoming board chair. I want to thank both of you for this conversation today.